Well, he did say that we could find the hunter right out back, so he's probably one of the best connections we can go for if we want to try to find this pass we need to proceed. Either he knows where I can find one and maybe he'll give me a little tip, or maybe he even already has one. Maybe he'll expect me to do some unsavory task for it.
Hey, that's the guy I was talking to during the shooting by the cleanup brigades. What did he say his name was? The Hunter? He's behind the bar, and he serves the drinks. Now, I don't claim to be clairvoyant, but I'd swear this guy's the owner of the place. This old metal stool serves as a table. The truth is that its unfortunate appearance doesn't exactly invite you to sit on it. The cheerful patrons of the bar. I suppose the gray substance one of them is sipping is liquor, but I can't tell what kind. I don't think he can either. That's the background music for the establishment. The speaker is cranking out a dreary, droning country song, and it's getting on my nerves.
Hey, just savor it while it's here. It's actual power. We're seeing lights and music. It seems like electricity is not going to be a common thing nowadays.
It's a bunch of open beer cans, dented and empty. I'm not sure why, but I find the smell of stale alcohol they give off distasteful, like all the other odors in this place.
Do you think he is an ex-alcoholic and he's an AA or something? Or was, before that ceased to be a concept, probably?
Stain from spilled drinks, rings from glasses and rust. The bartender looks out from the other side, seemingly bored and apathetic.
Now your garbage is mine.
What are you having, pal?
Nope, I'm afraid I don't have any cash on me.
That's no problem here. We don't only accept cash, we also barter. We accept anything of value. That excludes checks, naturally.
Don't think I have a reason to have alcohol yet, at least.
Interesting place. Are you the owner?
No, pal, don't get the wrong idea. I only work here. This belongs to the Hunter, like every other business enterprise here inside the camp. He's the head honcho.
I see. What do you sell here?
Anything you can eat or drink. Anything that fits into a box or a bottle. For other types of goods, talk to the Hunter directly. What do you need? Liquor, tobacco, food?
At the moment, I don't need anything like that, but I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. I saw a bunch of barrels stacked up at the entrance to the building. Just out of curiosity, what's in them?
Nothing. Just some things that need to be stored. Take my advice, pal. Keep your nose out of the Hunter's business if you want to keep it on your face.
Okay, it was just curiosity.
Mike, my friend, it's nice to see you again.
Hi.
Guys, this is my friend Mike. He's new around here. We met at one of the cleanup brigade's latest parties. Isn't that right, dude? Pull up a seat and have a drink. We like to be hospitable to newcomers.
Something tells me I shouldn't accept that drink. That it's not a good idea. Not anymore. No thanks. I don't drink.
Okay, Mike. Whatever you say. But I'm not accustomed to people turning down a drink. At least, not in my own establishment, in front of my men. So tell me, what brings you here?
Well, that got questionable real fast. We're already stepping on toes.
Tell me, why do they call you the Hunter?
That's a good question, Mike. You know my real name is Hank, but no one calls me that anymore. Now I'm the Hunter, because I can find you what you want, when you want it. You know, it doesn't matter where it is, how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. The new world gave me a new name and a new life.
A new life?
Yeah, a new life. It's hard to explain, dude. But I think in a way, you and I are similar, Mike. That's why I like you. Let me explain it to you. It was the Great Wave. The Great Wave that changed and purified everything. The old world was a messy, complicated, and unjust place. After the Great Wave, everything became crystal clear. When all the old laws disappeared, only one rule remained. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's that simple. And that's the universal law that puts each of us in our rightful place. Do you follow me?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Sounds like a handy way to justify anything and everything, even the indefensible. Yes, Hank. I follow you perfectly.
I knew it. I knew you'd get it straight off, Mike. But don't call me Hank. I told you, that guy died in the Great Wave.
It's not the best idea to bring it up, but supposedly people are supposed to be silent around here and aren't supposed to snitch on each other. And Hank's probably the last person to be a mole. And in fact, this is probably the exact type of business he actually deals with.
A friend of mine is in a bad way. I need to know if there's a drug that can help the dissolved, and how to get it.
A friend of yours, huh? Friendship is important, Mike. The camp is a very tough place, and you have to be loyal to your people. I like your gesture. Do I know this person?
But no, I don't think so.
I see. Well, look, dude, I've heard something about that cure, but I don't know if it's true or just a camp legend. Sometimes desperation leads to wishful thinking. You know how it is. But if that drug exists, I can think of only one place you'd be able to find it.
Where?
There's a small medical center on the outskirts of the city. It's more like a pharmaceutical warehouse, but it's heavily guarded. I bet my bottom dollar that's where they keep anything that valuable. Maybe you should take a look at that building, if you can find a way out of this hellhole, that is. And I can't help you with that. You know I like you, dude. Let me give you a piece of advice. Stay away from those untouchables. From the dissolved. They won't bring you anything but trouble.
He's supposed to be so tough and so resourceful, but he can't get out of here. I figured of all people, he probably already has a pass and probably uses it to run his black market, but he's just as trapped as everybody else.
What more can you tell me about the dissolved?
Only what the authorities say. And that's all I need to know. The disease is fatal. And they say you can catch it just by breathing next to one of those untouchables. That's why they have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Have you ever seen one of those poor suckers die, dude?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're lucky, Mike. I don't recommend it. It's a horrible spectacle. It goes something like this. After weeks of drifting in and out of their trances, something happens inside their bodies. Something fails all of a sudden. The pain makes them kick and scream like pigs in a slaughterhouse. Then their flesh begins to melt, to become liquid. Do you understand, Mike? That's why they gave it that name. They literally dissolve.
But that's terrible. Those poor people.
On the contrary, dude, those bastards spread the plague. It's them or us. Understand? Anyway, you know how it works. The cleanup brigades tend to be more than generous with responsible citizens who help them with their mission of tracking down the dissolved.
Well, he's not nearly the subversive force I was hoping he was going to be. He completely buys into the story, he doesn't have a way out of here, doesn't seem to have access to anything that I need, and frankly I thought he would say something about along the lines of finding out that like the dissolved are also like an excuse to round up people that they want out of the camp, for example, which may or may not actually be an element of the story, but seems like everything's straight and narrow. He's not really a source of revelation so far.
And can't you get hold of some of that drug for me?
I don't get mixed up in things like that, dude. The army has made it very clear. Helping or hiding the dissolved will be severely punished. Not even collaborators are free from reprisals. You saw what happened to that mole. Those pigs are ruthless about this.
What are you talking about, those pigs?
That's camp slang. The soldiers, the cleanup brigades. The inhabitants of this shithole call anyone with a rifle and a uniform a pig. They can blow your head off right on the spot with impunity.
I should be going now.
Fine, Mike. You're welcome anytime. Remember, dude, here we can get you whatever you need. No questions asked.
Well, you're disappointing. No great subversion, no great revelations, no great sticking it to the man. He's just some guy that hangs out in this bar and says dude a lot. Living comfort eagle over here. Alright. And I'm just looking for any minor details I kind of missed the first time around. There's a hood over here.
Someone went to all the trouble of taking the hood off an old Corvette, and dragging it in here, just to turn it into a tacky bar table. Most of these bottles have been opened, and they look like they've been reused hundreds of times. They're filled with a grayish liquid with a rather unappetizing appearance.
Yeah, it's prison wine, basically, right? They're making stuff locally with whatever they can. Alright, we'll head back across. He didn't help me very much, did he? Alright. Bummer. He's all talking tough and he doesn't even have a way out. Or he doesn't even have that good of connections. Hello?
A thick wall of scrap metal, debris and rusty metal surrounds this place on all four sides. It's a good 20 feet high. I can't believe it manages to stay up. The wreck of an old ice cream truck. I don't reckon it's going anywhere without its wheels. It looks like the enormous skeleton of a beached whale. She's a very young woman, practically a girl. She's playing by herself with some junk she found among the scrap metal and trash. Two guys entertaining themselves by playing poker. I suppose time passes very slowly in here. Even though there are only a few coins on the table, the game seems very intense. I'm afraid neither of them likes losing a hand. A few lousy coins. They don't look like they're worth much. Just a few loose pennies.
It might not even be used for money anymore. They might just exist for the purpose of having a currency to screw around with when you're playing your card game and passing the time. And as the old man said, not really passing the time towards anything, just passing the time.
Cars, machinery, steel, cement, even the skeleton of an old construction crane. This place is a veritable cemetery of the industrial age. An enormous rusty tank designed to collect rainwater. Everything indicates that the Great Wave wiped out the concept of running water in one fell swoop, at least on this side of the fence. This noisy electric generator seems very old and decrepit, but it works.
And I can interact with it, apparently. Let's not mess with people's stuff quite yet.
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Excuse me? What did you call me?
You're Mr. Sleepyhead. I saw you sleeping in Colin's trailer. I'm so glad you're awake now.
I wasn't asleep. I was sick for a long time in that trailer.
No, you weren't sick. You were sleeping like a big brown bear, Sir Sleepyhead. Sometimes I used to watch you sleeping in Rod's house, and you would grunt in your sleep like a bear. A great big lazy bear, Mr. Sleepyhead. But I'm glad you're awake now. I like your voice. You sound like a knight in a fairy tale.
Mr. Sleepyhead? No, that's not my name. I'm Michael.
No, you're just trying to fool me. You're Mr. Sleepyhead. My name is Rose.
There's something odd about this girl's behavior. It's true that she's very young, but she talks like a little girl. Nice to meet you, Rose. So, do you know Rod and Colin too?
Of course. I go over to their house a lot. Well, when they let me out of the van, that is. Rod and his wife have been very nice to me. Sometimes they let me play with Colin. We're very good friends. Are you a friend of Rod's and Colin's too, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yes, I'm friends with them too.
Do you want me to tell you a secret, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Of course.
I have your old clothes. The ones you were wearing when Rod and his wife found you. I have them in the van. They were going to throw them away, but they gave them to me to wrap my baby in. He'll be cold now that winter's coming.
Your baby? You have a baby, Rose?
Yes, I have a baby, but he's not with me right now. He got lost. Have you seen him? Do you know where he is? I have another secret to tell you, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Back in the van, Rose, now. Move your ass. Get in there.
Another secret? Just a minute. Wait!
Get in that van, Rose.
It's a very important secret, Mr. Sleepyhead. Something about you. Something about before the Great Wave. But first I have to find my baby. Have you seen him?
Come on, Rose, you heard me. You don't want to get us mad now, do you?
I have to go. Goodbye, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Poor girl. She's obviously mentally ill. She's just a little girl in a grown-up's body.
And you, if you want to go in there with her, you got to pay like everybody else.
Uh-oh. They've been selling her. It's not exactly a positive note. Oh, so I've got to get money to compete. Maybe even by winning card games or something. I need to get money just to be able to talk to her again, because they try to keep her away like merchandise, which is horrifying, but obviously not my goal.
Hey, you guys. You talking to us?
That poor girl's not right in the head. She acts like a little girl. How can you people be so unscrupulous?
Rose is an adult. She's earning a living. Like we're all trying to in this camp.
Mind your own business, pal.
You're abusing a poor, disturbed girl.
Us? Taking advantage of Rose? Us? You want to insult us?
We're giving her room and board. She's got nothing to complain about. But she's got to work. That's the only thing we ask of her in return. That's the way things work now.
Bring us the money, then you can get in the van with her. Hey, do us a favor and spare us all that sanctimonious crap from the old world, pal. Don't waste our time.
Is that an electric generator? I've seen very few of these around here.
Yeah, in this hellhole, you can count them on the fingers of one hand.
Nowadays, you can't buy generators like this anywhere. And with the power grid all blown to hell, you can bet that one of these is worth more than your life.
We use it to light Rose's room. We like to protect our, investments. So don't get too close to it. These things are very fragile, and they have a bad habit of getting lost. Now, we wouldn't want that to happen, would we?
Let me into the van. I just want to talk to Rose for a few minutes.
Of course, it's none of our business what you want to do with her. But if you go into the van, you gotta pay the price.
Got any money on you?
No, I don't have any on me.
Then come back when you do and quit bothering us. We have a very busy schedule, you know?
The girl said something about a secret involving me. Something from before the Great Wave. It seemed important. But what is it? Maybe it was a product of her madness. But I need to talk to her inside that van to get some answers. I'll come back with the money.
Now that sounds much better. I see that we're starting to speak the same language.
I don't have anything more to discuss with you.
Alright, that's something noteworthy. Then we need to find money if we want to continue. I'm also really curious to see what happens if I try to grab the stuff on their table, which is a good time to save then.
What exactly do you think you're doing?
Just try putting those grubby little fingers on those coins, and we'll chop them off and use them for poker chips. Hey, will you quit bothering us already?
Nope, that's that. I was kind of curious to see if they would freak out and shoot me or something, so all we have is a notebook, whiskey, and the cans. Heavy alcohol emphasis so far.
What exactly do you think you're doing?
Hey, pal. Touch that generator and you're a dead man. My partner and I don't kid around when it comes to defending what's ours. That clear?
Extremely. I was just curious and wanted to see this relic up close. You don't have to get nervous.
Do kind of wonder if you can die in this game, or if it always cuts you off right before you do something that would get your character killed or not. Not that I'm in a hurry to die. Alright, we didn't get a lot done going back and forth between these two spots. We need to figure out where to go next. Well, we haven't figured out how to get to the house yet. I went left to go there, but that didn't work. So, let's go back here. Is there an alternate path? Oh, there we go. I can click up here. He just kind of walks into the foreground. Oh, there he goes. Okay. I missed the path. Hi. So this must be the person who caught the guy that got shot. Probably the only remaining inhabitant of this building anymore.
Judging by its location, this closed door should lead into one of the bedrooms in this house. I can hear something from the other side. Sounds like howls or cries.
Oh, is he not dead? Is he just shot, but, like, you know, still hanging on?
Someone knocked over that enormous bookcase with all its books, and considering what it must have weighed, several people must have been involved in all this. Nothing of interest. The floor of the room is littered with useless junk like this. But wait a minute. I think I can see something sticking out from under that piece of wood.
Hey,
You filthy rat! Get out of my house! Do you hear me? Out!
Forgive me.
We've got nothing left for you to steal. Go back to your sewer, you filthy rat! Scram!
No, you've got it all wrong. I haven't come to take anything. But wait a minute. I recognize you. Weren't you with the man they shot out there a while back?
Yes, my name is Misha, and that man is my husband.
But what happened? Why did they shoot your husband?
It's all your fault. All because of you camp rats. One of you reported him for harboring a dissolved. And those army pigs opened fire without even caring who they were aiming at, or how hard my husband had worked for them.
So the lady the cleanup brigades took away from this house was a dissolved.
That was my mother. I'm never gonna see her again. Damn filthy rats. Are you satisfied? It was you people that brought death to this family.
They once said pigs again. I think I wanted to mention something about this before, but forgot to bring it up after they were finished talking. Earlier, somebody brought up the pig slang and then felt the need to explain that to me, which seemed really odd, because it's not the most uncommon terminology ever. And when you go into the voice options in this game, one of the options is German. You can go between English and German. So I'm kind of wondering if the developers are non-English speakers, and that could some of these odd, more bizarre dialogue choices come from that. I think that might be the case. I haven't looked into it up close, but I know that if I remember correctly, I think that Daedalic Entertainment tends to publish games that are from European developers, but I could be talking out my ass here.
Why is everything all over the floor? Were you robbed?
They left us nothing. Those envious rats took everything. They'd been hanging around waiting for days. It seems like those bums have a sixth sense about where a dissolved is being hidden. When they saw my husband injured and lying on the ground, they forced their way in and looted our house.
Bums? Envious rats? Who are you talking about exactly?
Them! All of them! Everyone living here in this camp envies us. They envy who we are, what we have, our privileges, our army contacts.
So they envy you because your husband is a mole. Is that right?
Don't call him that, you worm! He collaborates with the forces of law and order. That's his job.
And in his collaboration with law enforcement, wasn't turning in others of the dissolved one of your husband's duties?
Shut up! Shut up! You envy us too! You're just like the rest of the rats in this camp. And what are the three of us gonna do when my husband's gone? We'll lose everything! The house, the money, our privileges.
You said the three of us. Is there someone else in the family?
We have 2 children, 2 small boys. And in this camp, envy eats away at everybody. Now we'll be outcasts. No one will help us when my husband is gone. Winter will come, our money will run out, and my children will starve. Those 2 brats wear me down with their antics. I have to chase after them all the time, but they're my children, and none of this is their fault.
She does not take kindly to the idea of the hypocrisy being called out, that her husband was ultimately the victim of the same type of behavior. That was everything that brought him everything that he enjoyed in life in this current state. Can't help but notice the little touch there, that the person who constantly uses the word envy has green text for their subtitles.
How is your husband?
He's badly injured. One of the bullets went through his stomach. He's not gonna make it. He's really suffering. He's in excruciating pain. If we at least had some morphine to ease his pain.
What privileges are you going to lose?
As a collaborator, my husband always received special treatment from the army. More generous rations of food and water. A little money, clothes, a treat now and then for the kids. And now all of that's gonna end. We won't be able to leave the camp. When he dies, they'll take away his gate pass. We'll die locked up in here. Like you rats.
Did she say a gate pass? Listen, Misha, I can help you.
And just how are you gonna help us, rat?
There's something important I urgently need to get from the other side of the fence. While I'm out there, I could also get some morphine for your husband. I've heard that things are better in the city. It shouldn't be too hard for me to find some, but first I need to get out of the camp.
Like I told you, my husband has a pass that gets him through the gate. I could lend it to you, but I don't trust you. I don't trust you or any other filthy rat in this camp. Beat it! Get out of here!
If I want to get my identity back, I need that drug for the dissolved. And to get it, I have to leave the camp. I have to do whatever it takes to gain this woman's trust. No matter how unpleasant I find her screams and insults. Listen to me. I'm not just another camp rat. I'm your friend. I want to be your friend. You told me you were worried about winter coming. Let me help you. I'll bring you food. Food for your children. Then will you trust me?
I don't know. Bring me the food first. First, you bring me food for my children, and then we'll talk about that pass.
I'll do it.
We have a start then. I need to find food for her children. Then she'll give me the pass, which I can use to go outside to get morphine and the drug that we need, so that we can then fix everyone's problems, more or less. We'll see if that works. I heard whiskey is good for children. No, it's not the right move. Kind of curious what'll happen, though.
She wants me to get her some food, but she didn't say anything about alcoholic beverages.
So we need to find food.
While she's here in the room, that woman is not going to let me touch anything in this house. Better not. Knowing what's inside that room, I have no interest in going in.
He's dying. So the question is, we ourselves must also be dissolved, because we keep literally jumping between different realms. So does that mean that if I don't find the cure in time, I'm also going to rip my own body's going to rip itself apart? Oh, they let me go back here. Oh, it's just behind the house. Oh, there's the crack in the sky we heard about.
Oh no, here comes that sensation again. It's like floating in a dense liquid, while everything around me is transformed. Good God, I think I'm starting to lose my mind. That must be that strange phenomenon in the sky I've heard people talking about in the camp. The one that appeared just after the Great Wave. God is urging his angels to punish us through the wound. It says in the notebook I found in Rod's trailer. The view from here is incredible. Until you get a look from this height, it's impossible to get an idea of the true size of the refugee camp. One of the many sentry towers surrounding the camp. And inside each and every one of them, there's a sniper, armed to the teeth and itching to shoot something. These kids must be the children of the mole and his wife. Isn't it awfully late for two kids this young to be out here by themselves? The older one can't be more than 10 or 11. A pile of stones and pebbles. That's the kids' entire arsenal. It looks like they do just fine with them. It's an old wooden pallet those kids painted a target on. The word pigs is scrawled in the center. Hi, kids.
Hello, sir.
What are you up to?
We're doing target practice. We're going to be real good shots. Someday, we'll get those pigs who shot Dad.
How awful. These children must have seen the cleanup brigades shoot their father out there. Poor kids. And how is the target practice going?
Bad at the moment. We need a real target, or we'll never be able to hit those soldiers.
Yeah, we need a better target. Hey, quit talking to that rat. He's not one of us. You know what Mom and Dad say about the people in the camp. Leave my brother alone. Get lost, rat.
Yeah, you're not one of us. Get lost, rat.
Pleasant. What a nice family they've got here. They just shut out everyone who's different from them. This new society hasn't even been around for that long, has it? And in this case, it's just, who else are they going to talk to? There's nobody else around, practically, besides rats. It's just the entire population. So I can't do anything in here, because she won't let me touch anything. So the question is, what can I do to get food? We have empty beer cans. I need food to get the bracelet, and I need money to get a fortune or some sort of secret or news.